They didn't, Yeah. No volume.
They're getting going.
The overview. I didn't start yet.
He does, and supporting volunteer efforts. But again, it's an opportunity to engage people in restoration of our natural world.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Beyond the role of the volunteers, we've also been successful in securing grants to restore landscapes on a larger scale. Funding from Congresswoman Underwood allowed us to work with property owned by open lands located just north of Glacial Park. Next image. And this year we had a team from Integrated Lakes Management out removing field drain tiles and also establishing or installing rock weirs. Another name for that are beaver analog dams. The purpose of both of those management techniques is to restore the water to the wetland basin, and it's really gratifying to see the response of the wildlife, particularly some of the wetland birds, to the management activities that we've been able to accomplish on this particular project. I mentioned earlier the role of the Friends is also to engage the public, learning more about the refuge and conservation. Here are some images from one of our signature events, the Monarch Mania Family Fun Fair. I mentioned Mania because actually we have close to 600 to 700 people go through Main Beach in the course of 2 or 3 hours. So it's a hectic time, but a very rewarding time for all the groups and organizations that partner with the Friends. Next slide. Finally, we're delighted that, of course, last year the Friends celebrated the support of Open Lands and Conservation Fund and Illinois Audubon to acquire the 985-acre Tamarack Farms. Of that amount, 161 acres now has been officially conveyed to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and we were able to be a part of a ceremony with Senator Dick Durbin recognizing that particular event. And then this year, the Friends were recognized by Chicago Wilderness as the Dr. George B. Rabb Force of Nature awardee. And what I'd like to do now is just reference that in the back of the room, we do have some brochures that provide more detail. This was distributed at our annual meeting. But also, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the board. I'd like to thank our members. I'd like to thank our land protection partners and all the partners and individuals that have contributed to making this such a successful year. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott from Food Shed Co-op, and thanks for being here tonight. And I read that we're here tonight to celebrate the accomplishments of environmental organizations. So why is a grocery store an environmental organization? And it occurs to me that, we have these things to handle like runoff from the parking lot, water runoff called bioswales, these highly engineered pits, if you will, or retention ponds that release water slowly. They're filled with native plants. We have LED light bulbs in our store. We have an electric car charger. Wow. We have a pollinator garden. We have a spur off of the Ridgefield Trace bike path. So we have these things, right? But this is why I think we are an environmental grocery store, because we pumped in our first year of operation over $500,000 into the local economy. So when we do business with the likes of Joe Wanda, who has a sustainable farming operation in Harvard, we can support him to raise his cows in an ethical way, to raise those cows with a symbiotic relationship with the soil so that he takes good care of that soil, which, by the way, supports life on our planet, the 6 inches or whatever layer of topsoil that we need to take care of. And he is doing that. And Paddock's Farm and Nichols Farm and Cody's Farm and all these other farms in our county are doing that. And to the extent that we as a grocery store can support these guys, and you guys can come and shop and buy their stuff at our store or at local farmers markets, and keep this money in the county, and keep that money circulating to support people doing sustainable and regenerative farming. That's what makes us an environmental organization. So we need shoppers, because you may have read in the last week, we're cash tight right now. We are not a mature organization. We opened this store 18 months ago, 20 months ago, and our sales aren't living up to what we need them to be to make this thing sustainable. And we need you to spread the word, to get people in our store to buy Joe Wanda's meat, his eggs, produce from the local farms that are doing a good job to take care of that layer of topsoil I'm talking about. So this, I think is Frank here? Is this his picture? Frank, Pat's son-in-law, right? Took a picture of our store and jazzed it up. So I just met Frank tonight, but this is his picture. And thank you, everybody.
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah McHale with the Land Conservancy of McHenry County. We are a nonprofit land trust. We're your nonprofit land trust here in McHenry County. And what we really like to do is preserve and take care of land, but also support the private landowners who want to do the same thing. In 2020, we've been around since 1991. So I'm just gonna highlight what happened this last year, right? That's what I'm supposed to do in my 4 minutes. Right. Okay. So, we're small. We've got like 11 staff people or so, and this year we welcomed some new faces, including our new restoration ecologist, Daniel. He's the yellow circle on the left there. Catherine Doughty, she's our new land preservation specialist, and Lisa Meyer, she's our membership development specialist, who have joined us to help grow our volunteer groups, help take care of our land, help spread the word for you guys on how to take care of your land, starting new a seed collection.
Oh, sorry.
Go back in.
I'm back.
New seed collection group. I think you're in this picture. So anybody who's interested in volunteering with our seed collection, you can go to our website. Okay, now you can go to the next one. All right. Also, the bread and butter of a land trust, any land trust around the country, is going to be working with private landowners who want to preserve their lands. And that can be done through conservation easements. And this year we were lucky to have 2 different farmland agricultural conservation easements put into place. A lot of you know the name Avang. So Libby Avang put an agricultural conservation easement on her land this year. Also, she worked with us and the IDNR to expand her Fen Nature Preserve as well. So we're working with landowners all the time doing things like that. We've got a food forest off of Dean Street and had got some new cool infrastructure this year. Great trellises, shed, a trail that connects Creekside School to the food forest. Our food forest manager Gretchen is developing those relationships. Carbon credit. Okay, I know you guys heard about that last month, but Lisa wanted me to mention that we are the Chicago region's lead on a nationwide project to increase market demand for urban forest carbon credits. The Chicago Events Management Company, they run like the Chicago Marathon and things like that. They purchased over 8,600 credits from us. And that offset 25% of the carbon generated from 3 of their races that they did. So over 8,600 credits, each credit is worth 1 metric ton of carbon being sequestered. So that's a big deal, right? And that's done with the oak woodlands that the Land Conservancy owns. So we use that revenue to help take care of more oak woods and help you guys take care of your oak woods. All right, some other things that we've done. This one's near and dear to my heart. Conservation at Home and the plant sale. So in addition to helping people who want to put easements on their properties to preserve forever, we work with you in like a little bit more of a less formal way. Maybe you just want to learn how to put some native plants in your yard and remove some invasives. That's what Conservation at Home is all about. This year we did over 100 site visits. Me and this lady right here, Carol Elkins.
Yeah, Carol.
Thank you, Carol. Yep. So over 100 site visits were done this year. That puts us over 500 participating properties for the program, which is amazing. Also, we hosted our native plant, tree, and shrub sales. I gotta look at these numbers. We sold over 13,000 native plants and over 1,000 trees and shrubs are now just like spreading the goodness in everybody's yards around the Chicagoland area. I'm wrapping it up. That is a 25% increase from 2024. And we want to thank our volunteers and our members. That is how we exist as a nonprofit, as member support. Thank you.
Jeffrey's up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Hoffman. I'm on the board of McHenry County Audubon. I'm sure there's probably some Audubon members here. We're a fantastic organization, and we've gotten a lot more involved in funding projects and such. Slide. So most people know that I'm the kind of the bluebird geek in this county.
Yes.
Probably already own some of my houses and such. I built hundreds just this year and such. Most of the ones I install are either a Peterson style or my own box style house. Next slide. But this year I kind of went a little crazy. I installed 2 new trails last winter. I'd kind of forgotten about them because it seemed like one at Peoria and one at you'll see. But this fall I've installed 3 new trails here. 2 for the Crystal Lake, one at Wingate Prairie and one here at Stearns Woods, and then at the Thompson Road Farms and such. So you're going to be seeing a lot more bluebirds this year. But this was a trail I started last year, and I just doubled the size of this trail. This is the Citizen for Conservation site in the Hill and Dale Preserve, an amazing place. So lots of new bluebirds next year. But the big project that we funded this year, last year we funded a big Motus Tower, which is a really cool bird migration. But you need to track the birds by putting tags on them and then see when they fly by, those specific birds. But the Chicago Bird Monitoring Network set up by Windy City Bird uses acoustics. They basically use microphones and they listen to the sky in the spring and fall of the chatter that the birds make as they fly by. And they can, with AI, they can distinguish which species it is just by the little chipping and such that's going on as a warbird flies by. It's pretty dang amazing. So we funded to install. These are sites that are already put together. This is my house, so I got to put the first one in this county. Next picture.
It's Aki now.
Next slide, please. Oh, so this is some of the, this is the season, and you can see the peaks and valleys of the days when there was big migration, and these are some of the species. I know it's too small to read, but
Swainson's thrush was one of the most common birds that flew by. There's lots and lots of them and such. So, but this is my house. This is one of the 3D printed devices they call the grosbeak horn microphone. They designed it themselves. It's all 3D printed, and I wanted to get it up and have a clear view of the sky and away from anything. So I mounted it on the backside of my chimney here, and it hooks up using Wi-Fi to my network. I don't have to do anything about it. And the data that came off of this, the first day it was set up, was strictly Starlink. So we're going to install 9 more of these come spring. We've already got one's going to be at Lisa's house. One's going to be at Hennon. But we're still actually looking for sites. Most of them are done on big flat roofs with a big open sky and such. But having power and internet access, Wi-Fi access is really kind of helpful. So if you have a site that you might think about it, let us know. So we were hoping to get 5 or 6 of them up this fall, but they've been so busy putting these things up. We only ended up getting 1 up. But it's really, really cool. It's nothing but just a little digital microphone under here. This is just a screen to keep leaves and such out. And it just listens to the little birds as they fly by and counts them off. Pretty amazing. So yeah, this is a really new way to track bird migration. Bird migration studies have really exploded in the birding world. It's been a mystery as to how these birds do it and when they travel and such. So the knowledge that they're bringing forward these days on bird migration is really astounding. This is just another of the many tools that they're using. So it's cool.
Wow.
Okay.
Very cool. Pat Deekoff with McHenry County Citizens Climate Lobby, our chapter 350 throughout the country. We have over 250 supporters, 50,000 supporters all around the country. And what we do is really concentrate on legislation on the federal level. We also do some things with the state, but mostly at that level. And that's what really drew me to this organization, was that work, particularly. It's not easy, but necessary. It's really rewarding to get to know our representatives on a more personal basis and share our concerns directly with them. So this fall in November, some of our CCL chapter members met with Congressional Representatives Bill Foster, Darren LaHood, Brad Schneider, and Jansen Fauci, representative. So they were working on talking to them about permitting reform and Fix Our Forests Act. This year, our chapter also worked with the Environmental Voter Project. We did 2, there we go, postcard writing projects. Okay. Be the helper. And we did over 400 postcards to targeted districts. So their goal is to identify registered voters who prioritize climate and environmental issues but don't vote. So we have 12 million of those in our country. And so they were able to get 2 million to actually vote. And they've now become they call them super voters who vote in every election. So we're pleased about that work. Also this year, Linda Simcoe, our CCL. That one.
That's for the lobbying with Bill Foster. Okay, this is the, when we did this amazing work with Linda Simcoe, our tree committee chairman, Lisa Hadeline with Harvard's tree board chair, and Robert Lambs, the Harvard's public works superintendent. They worked together to get an open lands tree planting project grant, and they got over 37 trees, and they're planting on September 13th with volunteers of our organization, Open Lands staff, and people from Harvard. They planted Allegheny serviceberry, American linden, bald cypress, bur oak, common hackberry, pecan, sugarberry,
swamp, white oak, and 1 minute. Tulip trees. So this really helps, of course, tremendously, as many of you know. It increases the property value, helps school homes, warm in the summer and warm in the winter, reducing some stormwater runoff and pollution, and of course increases habitat and reduces carbon emissions. And of course, the last thing I want to highlight is that CCL works really hard to pass legislation. And of course, worked with passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. You say, well, you know, it's not working now, right? But our staff person, CCL research manager, worked with the process from Princeton Repeat Project to find out actually what we did accomplish in that length of time. And I'm really excited to say that 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide pollution will be taken out for the next decade. This is equivalent to shutting down 26 coal fire plants or taking 23 million cars off the road. Of course, that's not what we wanted, 3 billion, but we'll take 1 billion, and we're going to work hard to make that continue. Hope you'll be with us on that. Thank you. We have a sheet on the back that shows where you can take action.
Come around. Careful.
Careful. There we go. Everybody, my name is Kim Hankins. I'm the manager of sustainability at McHenry County College. And I just have a few highlights I want to mention, some of which you guys have heard me talk about already, but they're still really important. You can jump to the next one. So we know, we've talked about this last month, but our 2025 Green Living Expo was carbon neutral, thanks to our wonderful partnership with the Conservancy. I did get my certificate the other day, and it is the Crowley Woods Conservation Area. So I'm going to go out and visit those trees someday. Also at the Green Living Expo, we had a repair fair, which I know you guys heard me talk about nonstop. But one thing I wanted to tell you that's really cool is I have 4 more people that have contacted me. They're going to have their own repair fairs in the next 6 months.
Wow.
Okay, you can go to the next one. So this is kind of boring, but I have to tell you that I've been doing nothing but energy stuff in 2025, or maybe a few other things. We started out the year renegotiating our energy contract. Got our energy was provided by Mid-America, excuse me, and that contract ended in 2025, so we had to start way back in January or so, start figuring that out. It's just the worst process ever, and I hope none of you ever have to do it, but it was really, really interesting, and we ended up with a really fiscally responsible number, given all of our really high electricity prices, so we're happy about that. 10% of that, of our energy bill, will be coming from community solar, but before you get too excited, we are still trying to find the community solar that will fit because they're so popular, which is amazing, but it's very hard to find a big chunk that the college needs, but I'll keep you posted on that. So this is just some of the grants that we have. iGen is the Illinois Green Economy Network. They're a group that we work with pretty closely. There's a whole bunch of other community college sustainability people. And we've done 3 LED replacement projects, totaling a little over 50,000. We did this air filter upgrade thing for about 7,000. Again, none of this is very sexy or fancy, but it's really, really important, and it's phenomenal how much of a difference it makes. We did this HVAC and an EPA refrigerant training. We got a grant to develop a course for students and the community to learn how to deal with the new refrigerant requirements from the EPA. They're not greenhouse gas emitting anymore, except for they're highly flammable. So there's that. Then ComEd, we got a whole bunch of reversals of fees. That's really fun process too. Don't do that. And then two that are pending. We have this one actually we just had the inspection this past Monday, and it's actually going to be almost $55,000. A VFD is a variable frequency drive, and that helps you. It helps equipment work more efficiently. We'll just leave it at that. And then our 9-core boilers, again, nothing very sexy, but it's really important. We're trying to get some rebates back for our 9-core boilers. We just bought a couple boilers. Okay, and one more slide. So, but my job is so much more fun because of these people, and one of them is here tonight, but actually two of them are here tonight, but I want to embarrass them. This is the Environmental Action Club, and the former president and secretary is here tonight. But anyway, we went thrifting, and Dan came up with the name resale therapy, and it was really popular. And we had so much fun. We did, I don't know, 4 or 4, I can't remember. But I mean, I got really into it. Everybody got into it. And one time we went, and it was just all young men and me. Sometimes it's just been 2. It's just been a really nice, different group of fun on Saturdays. If you see the MCC van driving around, chances are we're thrifting. So we did a bunch of other stuff with these guys. We went to some conferences. We go to the Loyola climate change conference every year. We did Wild Things last year. I do have a student employee who happens to actually be the same person who is the secretary and former president, sitting in the corner. Anyway, actually I wouldn't point you out. I only had him for another week, so I have to embarrass him while I can. Anyway, but this really makes my job fun, and it's just so interesting because all these people that I get to meet every year and learn a lot more from them than they learn ever from me. So thank you so much.
Right. Elizabeth Kessler, and I serve as the Executive Director for the McHenry County Conservation District. And it's my pleasure on behalf of our board and staff to share the highlights that we've experienced last year. Last year, this time, we had just successfully passed a ballot measure to secure also was recognized in Chicago Wilderness Alliance Force of Nature. Next slide, please. Outdoor recreation is a big part of what we do, and the physical and mental health and connecting people to the natural world through these opportunities is really critical. So this year we had several improvements that we made to our trail sites to increase access for all so that all can enjoy nature safely and comfortably. We had the grand reopening of the Hollows Conservation at Lake Atwood. We paved the trail around the 22-acre Lake Atwood, installed a new fishing pier, created a self-transfer canoe and kayak launch, so individuals can go out there. It's a very cool. Even if you don't have accessibility needs, it's great for anyone, particularly if you need to get comfortable and get out on the water, and solar lighted trails around the lake. We also initiated a new wayfinding program that we're working with now with many stakeholders that'll rebrand the Prairie Trail for wayfinding, and be looking forward to that next year as we look for funding to implement. And then resurfacing of the Prairie Trail, Hillside to Lorraine, and Stearns Woods was banned. Of course, that's only next one part of our story. And if you've seen, we do some creative digital media here. So one of our top was Alvin, Theodore, and Simon, right? The JC Penney photo shoot. It ended up with 329,000 people with highest engagement. We also did our God Nuisance Goat Nuts for collecting of acorns to encourage residents to participate to reforest, and then that helped with our research trying to increase our capacity there. So 90,000 acorns were seeded through public and private collection. And then our nationally award-winning Find Your Wild in the 3rd year this year was amazing. 1,000 participants, 4,300 check-ins, 8,800 photographs of conservation areas actively engaging with the Conservation District and working with our 12 public libraries. Next slide. Our conservation leadership, growing our future leaders, has been really big for the district in succession planning. We've had retirements of our senior staff, elevating from within, retaining top talent, attracting amazing talent. Dr. Zach has come back here to us from NOAA and is part of our resource team. We're glad to have him here. We picked up someone from the Shed Aquarium, Heather from our education team. So we're really rocking with our staff. Very proud of them, and our foundation as well. We're growing their board leadership and couldn't be more proud. Next slide. Let's see here. Conservation stewardship. Oh, we're missing. Are you moving me along? We missed one.
Did I?
Oh, okay, we'll do this one next.
I might be missing one.
We're missing one here. Okay, conservation stewardship. So on this level, stewardship is very tangible. So for every acre that's protected, every acre that's restored, species that are reintroduced demonstrates our commitment. And so we had some major wins here from land protection. We had a gift at Marengo Ridge to protect oak savanna with the help of our Conservation Foundation. We also will be closing on a property with the Oak Legacy Project in Bigfoot Woods, a 55 old growth oak forest, with the assistance of the Prairie State Conservation Coalition. Thank you for the funding and our foundation. So thank you. No tax dollars to protect this 55-acre woodland. Species reintroduction, some amazing stories here, and I'm just Dr. Zach here. 71 molted sculpin were retranslocated to School Springs. And so this is significant. It's the first in Illinois, the second in the nation. And the best part of it, it was an old agricultural crop field that was re-established and restored. And we were able to work with IDNR. Cindy Jablonski, who was our wildlife ecologist, was able to work and to make this happen. And so this is a major win for McHenry County. This is what it's all about. So conservation system staff does. We had 58 green snake neonates that were incubated and released, and we planted 760 native trees and shrubs. From an ecological restoration perspective, we did the phase 5 of the Nippersink Creek restoration. We worked collaboratively with Open Lands on restoration and Friends of Hackmatack. And also at the High Point Conservation Area, we received from the Chicago Wilderness Alliance platinum accreditation for our site for the high quality restoration work that took place there. And then 115 acres were restored in Southwest Wisconsin, Northeast Illinois for the federally endangered rusty patch bumblebee.
Yeah.
Okay, and last one, we're missing a slide, but that's okay. So just an upcoming attraction here with the passage of the ballot measure last November is the Forward to 2040 with a vision to 2071. This is significant. This is the promise that we made to begin planning and to leave that legacy. The significance of 2071 is that will be our centennial year. So be looking for information to be involved with our stakeholder community process. We have a technical advisory group that's working with us to help shape the plan. There'll be a community survey that'll be going out, opportunities to provide input so that your lands can be protected, can be restored, can have the public access that you're looking for our future here. So this is really big. We're really excited, working collaboratively again with our foundation on funding for this project. And again, that's what I've got. So thank you so much for supporting the conservation. Thank you. Sean.
All right, I feel like this is a perfect transition. So for those of you who are not familiar with us, I'm the executive director of the McHenry County Conservation Foundation. My name is Shauna. And we are the supporting organization for the McHenry County Conservation District. We work to raise private funds, grants, donations from individuals, corporate contributions to support the work of the Conservation District and extend what your tax dollars allow them to do. So a lot of my updates are probably going to be very intertwined with what Elizabeth said. So in 2025, we transferred 15 acres of property at Marengo Ridge to the Conservation District. This property was bought with a private donation from an individual in 2020, and our board made the decision to make that transfer to the district to expand that site for your use as residents of McHenry County. We also supplied the match for grants that the district received for the improvements that happened at the Hollows to make that site ADA accessible, to allow people with varying abilities to be able to get out into nature and appreciate it and spend time there in a way that they are able to access it. We also, coming up here in the middle of December, the district is poised to close on 50 plus acres of woodland outside of Harvard, thanks to a grant that we applied for on behalf of the district from the Prairie State Conservation Coalition. And the matching funds provided by the foundation, that parcel is going to be protected in perpetuity. This parcel, I just have to share, I love this parcel. It is old growth woodlands. A number of oaks on this site are recorded as pre-European settlement in McHenry County.
Wow.
So they have been there for hundreds of years. And there's a witness tree, which if you're not familiar as to what that is, it's a tree that is said to have borne witness to an important historical event. Thank you. And this tree specifically was used in surveys. So when people were moving into Illinois, they marked this tree as an indicator of where they were within our state. We restored more than 140 acres with donor support. That is purchasing 760 native trees and shrubs to restore our woodlands and thousands of pounds of native seeds. We supported the district's Artist in Residence program for a second year. This is an opportunity to get out and learn how to paint in plein air or outside. The next opportunity to engage with that for the public is going to be on February 21st, if you are interested in doing that. We also, for I don't even know how long, our foundation has been supporting this for longer than I have been an employee, but we supported camp scholarships for kids in our community who want to attend a conservation district camp and are unable to afford it on their own. We offer full and partial scholarships, and this is the first year in my time with the foundation, I've been there for 7 years, that we kept out our scholarships. So next year, our board doubled scholarships in the hopes of getting more kids involved in those opportunities. We also funded a seasonal employee for the district through grant funding, who has expanded their ability to reach our community, to offer more volunteer, to do more restoration on sites. Aaron had mentioned Say They Say. This volunteer specifically was targeted to be Hispanic or Spanish speaking, and has worked to help grow the district's volunteer program and outreach to our Hispanic community here in McHenry County, which is actually about 15% of our residents. Yeah, I think that's about it. Elizabeth mentioned the comp plan. I'm sure at the end we'll give you an update on being involved in that, but we also helped fund the comprehensive plan for the district as well.
Let's say to say people.
Hi, I'm Judy Spear with Small Waters Education, and our goal is to build mutually beneficial relationships between humans and the rest of the natural world. So we do this in many ways and with many organizations that we partner with. One of the things that we have found we're pretty good at is helping groups to install and take care of native gardens. So here's an example of one of the highlights of the year. We work with Say to Say again. That's the coalition of the Defenders, the Land Conservancy, the Conservation District, and Friends of Hackmatack. And every year they work with the Youth and Family Center of McHenry County with the summer program kids to expand the garden at Peterson Park. And they call Small Waters in to help design, coordinate, pet list, all of that. It's a crazy time, but we have a blast. It was really hot. Those kids were. It was a lot of fun. Another project that we did was with Friends of Hackmatack and the Village of Richmond. We helped install a pocket refuge in McConnell Park in Richmond. And we helped train a team of local volunteers to help maintain that. We helped Northwestern Medicine Sustainability Council. They wanted to transform some of their lawn into native communities at Woodstock Hospital. So we helped them do that. We designed it, helped them install it. So it's on the east side of the building, right off of a patio that's used by staff, patients, and visitors. So check that out next year. It's going to be just gorgeous. We continue to build a network called Neighbors Helping Pollinators. These are volunteers that visit all of the school pollinator gardens that we've helped build over the past 10 years. We've planted them, and we also help take care of them with these volunteers. And we also help these schools to use these gardens as outdoor classrooms. So one of the highlights of the year for that was, for example, at Harrison School in Winter Lake, we helped the 2nd and 6th graders collect seeds, and they're going to be starting their own plants. And then our volunteers also process and package these seeds collected at all these gardens, and we've distributed hundreds of packs for free at conferences and events like the Great Seed event and Greenland Big Expo. We joined it with the Pollinator Week Coalition. We've donated plants and books to libraries by Doug Tallamy. Oh, okay. And helped to lead showings of Doug Tallamy's video at these libraries. We're leading volunteers every month at the Alden Sedge Meadow Conservation District site. We've been site stewards there for about 22 years. Yeah. And know a lot of stories about the land, so we share those stories. And we invite people to be a part of the story, because everybody who comes and helps out at the Oak Savannah is a part of the story and taking place as a keystone species of the ecosystem by helping it thrive. And we also have events to help people explore and experience deep ecology. And that's opportunities to reconnect our minds, hearts, bodies, and souls with the rest of nature. And so, for example, we had an event in January where it was a Zoom with a special presentation by Michael Pierre Price, who's an artist, mathematician, physicist, and sacred pipe carrier. So he combined all of those things and blew everybody's mind. And then we had another event where we gathered in the Oak Savannah to create rhythms through drumming, and also created a joint artwork with natural materials. So those are some of the cool kind of events that we do. Check it out. Find us on Facebook and YouTube.
We have a transition.
The last person, right?
Yes.
And my dear friend Sebastian does not think I can do this in 4 minutes.
Wait a second. We have.
Let's go.
Got it.
I am Nancy Gaziorek with the Wildflower Preservation and Propagation Committee. Y'all that come here regularly know me because every month I'm hawking our programs. We are, like all of you, small but mighty group. And I also want to say that we partner with so many of you. So thank you so much. And no one more than Zach at Dukes for hosting this every month, but also the Land Conservancy, who is our fiscal sponsor and amazing to work with. And they are so supportive of us. So thank you so much. Take that back to Lisa.
Also Jennifer, she's the one who's doing all of it.
Oh, and Jennifer, who is the finance person. Yes. So, and we're waiting for a minute, but I'm going to start talking anyway, just because I know y'all are like, oh, the last one, let's get out of here, right? So, we are an all volunteer group. We, as I said before, we are small but mighty. We accomplish our programs in many ways. We help people go native in their own backyards. We've got the Land Conservancy that helps people with mostly big tracts of land. And we've got the amazing Conservation District with Elizabeth and the Foundation with Shauna, who help, support public lands. But what we do is help people that just want to have a little native garden in their own backyard. And we do that through several programs. Jump in. We have a natural landscaping seminar every February. Who has been there? Yay! And I hope you come this year too. It's an amazing program. It's an all-day event at the college on February 28th. We serve a yummy lunch. We have vendors in the commons area selling all kinds of great things, as well as their advice for all things native. And that will be February 28th this year. We have a native plant sale the first Sunday in May. So I think that is May 3rd. And we sell plants. So if you want native plants, this is the place to come. We have amazing varieties. We sell over 1,500 plants at our sale, over 150 varieties. There you go. Never dug from the wild, right? Best prices everywhere, anywhere. The plants we sell for $4, I find at Countryside Nursery or at the Barn Nursery later for $9.99 and up. So, okay. Come early for best selection. There's always a line. Okay. Goodreads. We sell books. Who loves a book? I don't know about y'all, but the electronic thing, not for me. I like the book. I want the connection. I want the book. We have over 200 titles of great books about native whatever. We sold over 700 books last year. We sell them at our natural landscaping seminar and our plant sale. Yes. Natural garden in your yard. If you want to go native and you don't know how to do it, we'll assign you a mentor for a year.
Thank you.
Cynthia was one of our first mentees. Yes. And going strong after, what was that, 20 years ago, right? We have 19 new gardeners this year. We also train mentors, so we get mentees for mentors. We've planted over 350 gardens in the 21 years. Oh, keep going. I don't know where that came from. That came out of nowhere. Oh, outdoor classroom grants. This is one of my programs that I'm so proud of. We give up to 400 plants a year to any school that wants to create an outdoor classroom, and we give them some training and advice and help them. It is so fun to work with the kids. There they are. Aren't they cutie pies? All right, keep going. Walks on the wild side. We do a native yard walk every month. It's a guided tour through a natural yard with experts to talk to you and help you. I just have to say, as all of our programs, they were started by the amazing people, Margaret Markey, Bill Wingate, and Pearl Olson, who passed away last year. Thank you so much to all of them for their idea. There's our walks. Crystal Lake Rain Gardens. Crystal Lake is super forward thinking, and if you live in Crystal Lake, you want to get involved with this program. They are buying land and creating rain gardens to mitigate the flooding in Crystal Lake. One of the rain gardens is a whole city block. It's amazing. We have different sites we're working on. Look at how you can't even see. This is just a smidge. It goes all the way that way. Keep going. And then pearls, pocket environments that animals really like. This is a new program that we're doing because our members in our organization see these little tragic spots, and we want to do something there. We think, oh, this is a perfect place for native plants. It would look so much better. So there's Kishwaukee Brewing. First year. This is the first year. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
There you go. This tragic patch is in the back of Duke's Ale House. If you go out there now, it's piled with snow. So you know how harsh this environment is. This is a spot that is piled up with snow and salt and all the road crud all winter. And in the summer, it is hot and dry as you know what. Zach came to me and needed help. And it was super tragic. And now we have a pearl. And if you go out there next year, you'll be amazed at what you see. So now we're just going to flip through some cool pictures. You can just see some of the things we've done, the transformations. But that's what we do. We are always looking for volunteers. So if you live in Crystal Lake, you might want to get involved with the rain gardens. If you're an educator, you might want to get involved with the schools. If you just want to learn more, you might want to get involved with the plant sale. We have all these fun things to do. And most of you who come here every month know how to find us.
The WPPC.org.
That's right, the WPPC.org. So I hope you all want to join us, and I hope I see you at our seminar this February. We'll have a great show as always. Thank you.
Yeah, well, just thanks.
So we want to thank everyone that has come to join us today to present great news, all the good things going on in our community. So thank you all for being willing to come up and share your information with us. Lots of good stuff. And now's our time for announcements. So if you're not familiar with that part, we'll give you one whole minute, maybe. And you, if you would, I'll pass the mic to you and just tell us who you are and what your announcement is.
The one thing you guys can do to help support the work of the environmental defenders is visit our bookstores, the Green Read and the Green Spot. I know I've seen a lot of kind of redos for Small Business Saturday because of the snow we had last weekend. So I know the downtown Crystal Lake Business District is kind of doing a revamp on that. So it's going to be this Saturday. So it's a great opportunity to get out into the community, help keep books from getting into a landfill, help support the environmental defenders, and help support our local businesses and our community at the same time.
By Christmas trees.
All right, McHenry County Conservation District, still time to submit a conservation champion. We have 2 awards in December, and it's the deadline. One is for an individual that's passed away, has been deceased for 5 years, and another is very active in the support work done. So please consider nominating someone for those awards.
How we do it?
Online at the Conservation District, or just give me a call and we'll get you hooked up. It's a real simple application. Secondly, winter solstice on December 21st. We are working with Tricksters Cultural Center for the winter solstice celebrations. I want to get community, we've been doing a lot with the Indigenous community, so that's a great opportunity to get involved. And last, I already mentioned the 40-20-40 plan. Please participate in that process. We want to hear from you, share with you. Should be seen. Thank you.
Donald Cabell from the McHenry County Conservation Foundation. You heard a lot from me already, but I just want to remind everybody that sustainability goes beyond this room. If you are buying things for your friends for the holidays, there's an opportunity to give a donation on behalf of that person, in honor of that person, to any of these organizations who have presented to you today. Another thing is to buy a sustainable gift from the Green Reads. Buy somebody an outdoor classroom opportunity from the WPAC, or an opportunity for conservation at home from the Land Conservancy. There are so many ways to give gifts to your friends and family that are sustainable, and a lot of them are here in this room. So thank you so much to the environmental defenders for hacking us.
Be afraid to leave McHenry County. If you just come south on Route 31, only 2 miles beyond the border, you could visit our Mason facility, the Schweitzer Environmental Center, and on December 14th, we'll be having our Nature Arts and Crafts Fair. Wonderful gifts. So it's your Christmas shopping bonanza. So you can see it on our website, fotfr.org. Thank you.
And if you're afraid to leave McHenry, but you can go to Kane County, you can go to In Search of Eagles on February 7th at the dam removal site that Friends of Fox River mentioned, at McHenry Dam, at Algonquin Dam, and also up in Fontana, if you can go across the Great Cheese Divider. Okay, very simple. Thank you. Oh, if you go out of town, I just forgot to say something that I wanted to say. Thank you to the people who do green drinks every month. So Pat and Ann and Leslie and Nathan and Grace and Aaron and Nancy. Putting this event on every month because it gives us all a place to come and know that we're not alone and we're not crazy, right?
Well,
So thank you and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, anything you celebrate. Have a good one.
Thank you for that. See,
It's the littlest mic in the world.
but it does good work.
It does. Hi, I'm Cynthia Canner, Executive Director of Prairie State Conservation Coalition, and also a proud volunteer board member of Friends of the Fox River. So as you've heard tonight, Prairie State Conservation Coalition a couple of times, we completed our very first and historic round of giving land acquisition grants throughout the state of Illinois under our new grant program, Prairie State Conservation Fund. It's so exciting, and of course, as a resident of McHenry County, I was very excited about that one too. But all of them from Southern Illinois, Dogtooth Bend, all the way up here. We have another round of land acquisition coming up early in the new year, and also our first round of stewardship grant program. So if you're 501c3 and you have some stewardship work to do, it's up to $30,000. So if you have any questions, come see me. And I also echo, thank you for all that you all do every month. And Dukes, those green beans.
Did we get everybody?
anybody else?
That is great.
Oh, right on time. Look at that.
Good time.